Yeah, everyone blow ASAP. Now go.
This is the wrong button.
Oh, we botched it.
There you go.
All right. Well, there you go. There you
That's our
go.
lose time.
All right. And welcome to the GankBush podcast. This is episode 78. Is it 78?
78.
78.
Yeah. All right. Right. 22 left. All right. So let's go ahead and introduce. Oh, for those of you listening for the first time, we are the only Heroes of the Storm explicit podcast where all the different co-hosts represent different play levels. So, for example, we have someone as low as a bronze player, all the way up to a grandmaster level player. Each week, we bring you the latest in HOTS news and discuss the latest tips and strategies to help you become a better player. We don't have any platitudes here, so if you want platitudes, you can go somewhere else. All right. So let's go ahead and introduce our co-hosts. We'll go to Old Backpack, who's back in Abu Dhabi.
Hey, should be back here. Well, you said a bronze player, but we have a bronze type player here.
Well,
No,
Tower
he's
Baron
bronze.
Yeah, Tower Baron's like
He's
bronze
bronze?
too.
I've
He's
been putting all
bronze
my
too.
effort,
He's
all my.
legit bronze. He's been legit bronze like all season.
Well, I'm putting all my effort
Jesus.
into the other account.
Oh, sure.
No, but
Baron
you played
Tower.
Hero.
Yeah.
You tanked from Silver 5 to Bronze 2, so you still played Hero League games.
I still played Hero League games for the loot and stuff, but most of my effort's going into Baron Tower.
Okay. All right. I retract. It's bronze type.
Let's get things right. You know, we can't put out fake news and stuff.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and introduce our diamond level player. That's Scott, who's calling in from San Francisco, California.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. And let's go ahead and introduce our grandmaster level player. That is Bacon, who's calling in from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, hello. I would talk about the beer I'm drinking, but I'm not drinking beer. I'm drinking Glenfiddich.
What's that? Oh,
My-
shit.
that?
My,
Oh,
my go-to scotch.
yeah, that's the one with the deer on it, right? For the logo.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
just-
oaky, syrupy. I like it.
Actually, Byron gave me a bottle of that. It's in Scott's apartment right now.
Ooh.
What year was it?
I don't know. It's,
The
it's in a
12
green
sucks.
box.
Like a 12-year.
Yeah, 12 is not as good, but 15 and 18 are pretty good, but 18 is too expensive.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I'm having you can't see this at home, but I'm having a yerba mate.
Yerba mate, actually.
Yeah.
Yerba mate. I can't believe you said that.
So one of the wind timers said that I should try it because I'm a hipster living in Portland. So I'm going to try it right now. First time ever on the podcast live right now. All right.
The
Yerba
suspense
mate.
is killing me.
It's not that good. It's a Revel berry flavor, by the way. So,
Never trust the wind timers. That's the
pretty
in
much
their alcoholic
Oh,
choice.
exactly. Well, this is a tea.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Yerba mate is a tea.
Yeah, it's a tea.
Oh.
That's why it's bad, because it's missing the alcohol.
Yeah. So, but
But
anyway,
let's mess Asian
Mix it up
side
with Four
coming out.
Loko. That'll improve it.
yeah. Well, I want the original Four Loko back. Is what I want. But all right, so let's move on. We actually have a really big show for you. So before
How
we start
big?
with the show, what?
How big?
Oh, okay. So before
Huge.
we start with the show, you can find the podcast at gankbushsquad.com. If you listen to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play, subscribe and or leave us a review. That is much appreciated. If you ever want to play with us, we are in the channel Win Time, one word Win Time. Also, we have a Discord channel. Just go look up GankBush Squad. You can see us there. Also, if you have any emails, we actually got an email this week too. But if you have any emails, please email us at podcast@gankbushsquad.com. Also, we have a Patreon. And if you just go to patreon.com/gankbushsquad, you can go there and contribute.
We
Or
should
donate.
thank all the Patreons so far. Who do we have? We have Grizzly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of them doesn't want to be named, but yeah, I think
it was Grizzly.
I've
Was that him?
No, they've, I think Ed and Grizzly and everyone else has been thanked in the preceding podcast. So, but yes, thank you to everyone who has already supported the show. It's really greatly appreciated.
Did Voldemort contribute? Is that why she shall not be named?
No, Voldemort doesn't. Come on, he only cares about himself.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Of course, but why would
How
he
did
contribute?
how did that whole home thing go? I remember you were talking about it a couple months ago, that he was like tweaking the AC so that it passes a test or something.
Oh no, that's not him. That was another
Another
Asian
shady
friend.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
know a
shady
lot of
guys.
guys.
Asian people are shady. What do you want me to say? All right, but yeah, I mean, like, if Voldemort won't even buy his beer for a board game night, why would he subscribe or whatever on Patreon? Makes no sense. He won't even pay for like food at a brewery they were eating at. Why would he give us money? on Patreon?
He paid.
He's
he paid
getting
that.
so personal
Yeah.
now. Oh shit, I love it.
it. And he stole my girlfriend, that son of a bitch.
Hey man, no one even knows who he is, but I know.
And he
who
leaves the
is.
toilet seat up. God damn it.
Well.
Yeah, I know. Just
Well.
let's red.
He pretends that he has no money, but he gets financial aid, even though
He's got
he has
he
hundreds of
pretends he has
thousands of
no money.
dollars, but he needs to get financial aid to go to school. Yeah.
And he's got a relatively new car, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, if you could get it for
at
free,
least.
why pay for it?
Someone's got to pay for it. I mean, there's this notion that you get it for free, and then there's no one else paying for it. Someone pays for it.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said you just personally.
The fact that he got it means one less
selfish
person
way.
had the opportunity. Someone who actually deserved it didn't get it. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Pretty much.
Oh, you turned it around. That's a good way.
Yeah. I mean, there's another
Wow.
person who may have never got an opportunity because of him, because of his selfishness. But anyway, let's move on from
But
that.
also, that's kind of like all those African kids who don't get to eat the fries I leave on the plate.
What?
You know what I mean?
What?
Son of a bitch.
What are you talking about?
It's like eat all the food on your table because think about all the starving African kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going
can't
somewhere
send
else
your-
with that.
Yeah.
You can't send your food to Africa. It'd
Exactly.
be like rotten and moldy and bad by then.
Well, I mean, I eat my food when I order stuff. So, but all right. But anyway, all right. So we're actually going to discuss the PTR patch in terms of all the reworks for all the major characters, as well as Garrosh again, and then
Yeah,
we'll Gary again, and then we'll talk about the. There's an article that came out a couple days ago about the state of the game, where they interviewed, like Bakery of Dignitas, Dark Mock of Team Liquid, and Snitch of Dignitas, and Breeze of Fnatic, and some good stuff there. And then we're going to talk about Hero League. Should it go back to duo queue? And then we actually have an email from a listener in regards to Hero League in terms of the map rotations. So, and then all right. So, okay. So from now on, just for the listeners at home, we're going to call Kael'Thuzad KT, and then Kael'Thas will just be named by Kael'Thas. So when we say KT now, it's going to be Kael'Thuzad. All right. So KT is now on the PTR, and let's go ahead and get Bacon's thoughts on KT.
Yeah, and basically this patch is just the Kael'Thuzad patch. Shit, I'm already mixing them up with the 4 or 5 hero reworks. So I nicknamed this patch the Be Diligent patch because every rework makes the hero have the possibility to do more for more rewards. So if you talent for it, you can set yourself up so that if you are the superior player, you can have success or more success than the typical just set it and forget it Morales style that, is present right now. So I really like that about the reworks. But going to Kael'Thuzad, I'm a little mixed because I don't think I have the mechanical ability to conquer Hero League with Kael'Thuzad unless I put in like 200 games with him, and I don't really want to spend that much time just learning one hero and learning the combo and everything and all the intricacies just so I can learn one hero when I can do the same with 3 or 4 other heroes, like the reworks we're going to talk about soon. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I had the same feeling about Kel'Thuzad. He's like the Alarak of mages. He's like, he's very, very powerful, but there's so much of a burden of execution. If you botch it, it looks terrible. And so I'm sure there's some people who are going to be fantastic at him, but it's a huge amount of time commitment to master that character and actually bring him to their full effectiveness.
His chain's cooldown is so long that if you mess it up, then you're just kind of, shit for the next 15 seconds. And you have to hope that the players suck. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2 skill shots, and you have to combo them, temporally with time. Then you need to hit a Frost Blast, and then hit with the ultimate, and then hit with a Q. Like, it's a huge amount to orchestrate.
Yeah, the combo initiates with the chain, right? You chain, and then
the first
you know
chain,
where he's going to end up, and then you just throw everything in the spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's 2 skill shots though.
Yeah. Now, you can make it easy by hitting the first chain on the hero that you want to blow up, and then drop ice shards at level 7. And that way it's a stationary target that you can use to hook your initial hero and get the combo off of that. But without that level 7, then you'll have to get a second skill shot off like that, and that seems tricky. And before you throw the chain the second time, you have to place your Frost Nova. That's what it's called? Yeah, Frost Nova.
Yep. Yeah. And you have to fire it from a moving target which you don't control. Like, it's challenging.
Well, the thing, too, is that all of his abilities have a slight delay to them. They're not instants. So, yeah, there's like this little delay that comes out. So it makes it even harder.
Chromie on crack.
I do think the chains, they're on, like, whoever they land on for a while, a few seconds. It's not, you have to immediately, hook something up to it. Like right then, it'll stay on for a few seconds, right?
It's
3
4
seconds. Yeah, so you don't have to get that off immediately. You can just have the threat of like chaining somebody.
But then you can also argue that's also 4 seconds that the enemy team knows what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the chain doesn't
favorably.
Yeah, you could, I guess, chain a tower or something, or chain your icicle, and everyone just kind of like hovers around. I don't know.
Yeah, remember though, the chain doesn't give sight, so if they chain and they walk away, you can't see where to fire it.
Oh, but you can chain in the dark though. If you chain a tower and someone runs behind their towers, you can throw out a chain like in the dark, and that'll hook them if it hooks.
Good point.
So I tried that out.
You can also,
cool.
If you hit any part of the gate, then it's also going to pull towards the center of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also, it takes some of the guesswork out of that if they do move behind some brush or the gate. Yeah, but if you hit your skill shots, it's an ass load of damage.
Yeah.
But in terms of health, I did some math. Yeah, you can go for it, Matt.
I just want to get Scott's ideas on KT.
I didn't get a chance to play him on the PTR, but because Bacon and I were playing, and when I finally started playing, the queue times were just ridiculously long. But playing against him, he seems really strong. Like the amount of damage he puts out, it can be ridiculous. Bacon and I were playing a game where I think both of us died. So the rest of our team fought basically a 3v5, and KT just ended up like mopping the other team. Like they had a 5-man wipe after 2 of us were dead. So it seems kind of ridiculous, the damage you can put out.
Yeah.
I have a comment in the chat just really quickly. Someone mentioned that they never really found delays to be something that makes landing skill shots or combos difficult. For me, it makes it difficult because you see an opportunity and then you try to cast it, and there's like that window where they can move out of the way, or you don't anticipate like the where they're going to run. But I don't know. What do you guys think about like the delay aspect to his abilities?
Delay really only applies to Chromie right now, like Shin says in the chat. But Chromie also, you can, and she is so long range, you can cast Q from the shadows, and it makes it almost impossible to dodge if you're able to land it. And there's the animation in the shadows when you cast your W, but that's still sometimes kind of hard to like guess where it's gonna land, because chromies can like go on top of your thinking and like hit it where you're gonna try to run, like what a lot of chromies do. So the difference between Chromie and Kel'Thuzad is within Jaina's range. It's really kind of up in your face. Once the fight gets turned on you, then you have to hope that your tank is properly peeling, because you have to actually kind of be in the fight instead of Chromie, where you're just kind of poking and slightly participating in the fight.
Yeah. What do you guys think about his cast range of his abilities? It's kind of short though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's by
Seems like
design.
Cassia range almost.
That's how it has to be. He has too much CC otherwise.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's like he doesn't have too many escapes outside that level 20 dash, right?
Yep.
So
Well, I mean,
he
that's
has
by
to get
design.
kind of close, or have someone to kind of CC or peel for him if he gets dove on. So
But that's by design. Like mages don't have escapes.
true. Well, Jaina has a lot of escapes now, it seems like, but I was actually playing around with KT a little bit with his Q build. He's actually can siege pretty well, assuming he gets his quests done. I mean, he does have to kind of land the chains and the Frost Nova to get the ability. But when he gets that level 20, that spawns that extra like mage dude, and they both threw out Qs. Like 3 shots, and it can take down like a fort.
What's gonna happen is, if that actually becomes a thing and
Yeah.
it's toxic to the game, they're gonna have the damage against structures like they did with Li Ming. It's a very
Nice,
simple fix.
So here's Towerberry telling me they have this high CC burst mage. Hey guys, level 20, I'm gonna start sieging. That's
Well, no,
where
I'm
his
just saying.
brain goes.
We kind of already agreed that he's going to be a super hard character to combo with and get really good at. I'm saying there's an alternative way you can play at simplified, more of like a common level type play style, which could be effective, because the Q is outside of tower range, and you can just throw it in the beginning, like pre-level 10, like into the gate, and it'll just destroy all the minions that cross through and do the siege damage as well.
So you think that KT is a specialist?
I'm saying he can be. He can be part specialist. I mean, that's what I was messing with. I mean, he has the talents to buff up his Q.
Hold on, we're gonna see
He has
KT
cooldown
be a
reduction
specialist
one,
right now.
and then he has the one that does additional damage. I guess only on heroes though, and the level 20 that gives him the extra mage guy, which cannot be killed, by the way. That also throws out a Q wherever in your direction, wherever you throw your Q.
Okay. So, Bacon, what types of characters go really well with KT and which go poorly? Or how would you draft around him, and how would you counter him? We'll put it that way.
Well, anything that keeps heroes in the same place. So Arthas, Anubarak, Malfurion, any kind of follow-up CC that he can take advantage of. Even I was kind of brainstorming the Aegis from an enemy Ariel, because that means that that character is going to be standing still for a second or two, and you can properly time that with the W.
So those are all characters that go well with KT.
That's what I think. Yeah.
What about if someone drafts him first overall in Hero League? How do you counter him? Like get ATC and let off crowd control?
I think the standard mage dives are going to be pretty good for countering KT. So there's the Greymane and the Genji and ETCs. And he doesn't have any way to stop ETC, right? Unless he gets a chain off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like how Jaina and KT are right now. Maybe his best thing would be maybe Gul'dan for his range on his abilities. He's got pretty good range, but if you dive him, he doesn't have much in the way of peel unless you're godlike and you're able to chain the people that are diving you together and root them. You really got to be on the ball there. But if you go a heavy dive comp where you have one range and you got a melee healer, 2 warriors and like another melee assassin or like a gray main, he won't be able to deal with that kind of burst without heavy peel from his teammates.
I guess if someone does pick KT first, you could probably try on your team to take ETC or these dive heroes so you don't get dove on, I guess.
So Tower Baron, when you're playing Hero League next week,
Yeah.
is KT, first of all, should he be played at the lower levels? Second of all, is he going to be bannable at the lower levels?
I think a lot of people who play this character aren't going to be hitting the combos that much. I think he'll still put out damage, but I think he's going to get dove on hard, like really hard, and he's not going to really be able to complete his quest that early to be really effective. I think you can be getting really good results with him if you can complete your quest really, really soon. The 30 Blight, that gives you the 75% spell power. I think that's kind of critical to his progression during the game. So I don't really see him that big of a threat to the games at the common levels. I do think he may have some play as like a specialist hybrid, like I was saying, because it's more simple to play and you can't really mess it up as much. So I think that I'll probably experiment with that when I pick him up. Because I'm going to pick up the character. I like his kit a lot. I like the combos and stuff.
I mean, but if you can use him like that, then why not pick up a KT or a Jaina?
You could, but I kind of like having the possibility of combos, sort of like with Stitches. Like, oh, I could have this like awesome combo that's going to be on HOTS WTF moments, and there's a possibility of me doing that. So that's why I'll pick it more of like a kind of a trolley type of thing. Maybe not Hero League, more like quick match type of thing. So, and if I know you guys are kind of picking characters around my character, that'd be kind of cool too. So.
All right. So what about this is for old backpack? What about for the platinum and diamond level? What are you doing with KT when he gets released?
I'll say, like, to me, KT is mage Alarak. So if you're afraid of Alarak, I mean, he's probably 5% popularity, and so when he's there, it's bad. But it's so uncommon for someone to be, have the mastery of that character. Even at diamond level, you don't see that sort of mastery very often. It's not too much to be afraid of. You will see a lot of him being played because he's new, but I'll see a lot of them dying as well because they don't know character that well. They can't hit all those skill shots that consistently.
He's gonna
still be bad.
He's gonna have a high skill
launch.
cap.
He's gonna launch at like 42%, 44. One of those guys.
Yeah.
A lot of hype behind him, but ends up doing nothing.
All right. So for
just one more thing about KT. I don't know if you guys watched the Making of KT series that the YouTube channel, Heroes of the Stormwind channel has. But one thing that kind of irked me once I saw the series, they mentioned how tall KT was. And actually, it kind of bothers me that he's bigger than Ragnaros, like in game. Because Ragnaros is supposed to be huge, right?
Yeah.
But KT's is like as tall as a tower, like bigger than Ragnaros. Maybe I just get into the details a little bit.
Well, there's this trait that makes Rag bigger than anything. So
Yeah,
I guess that's
yeah.
what the trade-off is.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too tall, I think, for his character, and I did kind of notice it because they mentioned it on that YouTube series. So it bothered me. That's what I say.
Okay. You should watch that YouTube series, but it's kind of funny because every episode is like, the community has a lot of hype for Kel'Thuzad, so we're gonna try to make him the best Kel'Thuzad we can ever Kel'Thuzad. So when we create Kel'Thuzad, and that's just repeat that over the 5 episodes so far. So when we're animating Kel'Thuzad, we want to be the best Kel'Thuzad. When we're talking about Kel'Thuzad's talents, we want to have the best Kel'Thuzad talents, and we're gonna reiterate Kel'Thuzad as much as we Kel'Thuzad can. Like, oh my god, okay, we get the point. Shit,
they're really hyped
so.
about Kel'Thuzad.
I like the small insights that the video has, but it's so PR-y that you can't.
It should have been a 1 episode thing. It shouldn't have been drawn out like 4 episodes. Yeah. 5 episodes.
Should have been like 1 30-minute documentary. That would have been better.
Yeah.
Because they have to hit the same notes to make sure they get the message across every episode, and then they play the same music in the middle of the episode when they're trying to hype it up. So
I was actually looking pretty closely if I could see any source code in the background, but they didn't show any. I still kind of contend that it's written in C, C++. But
and plus, in those meetings, I wanted to see some actual fucking arguments. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Kel'Thuzad's doing this? Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Not my Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah. Okay. So lastly, this is for both Bacon and Scott. So Bacon is obviously the Grandmaster level player, and Scott was almost Masters before he got DC'd.
You got DC'd?
Yeah. Yeah, my game crashed
out one of
on
my
me,
excuses,
and I
Scott.
lost
That's
like
my
600
excuse.
points.
DC'd.
This wasn't in game. This
pulling
was
out a
like
tower
when I right when the lobby was starting, like my game crashed. I didn't even get a chance to like see who I was playing against.
But anyway, so this is for the upper the upper 1% of players. So when KT comes out, are you guys just gonna first ban him, or what?
I will. I don't want to deal with him. You guys think he's going to be super high skill cap, but all it takes is a tank to stun him, and you're able to, hit the majority of your combo with the Frost Nova and Death and Decay. The chain stun is awesome, but you don't necessarily need that to be super effective.
His hitbox is pretty big. It's it's bigger than Arthas and Malfurions, and I think that's going to be his biggest weakness, because part of Kel'Thuz's biggest weakness is he gets hit by everything because his hitbox is purposely huge, and Kel'Thuzad, it seems like, has the same problem. So add on top of that, it's going to be day one, week one. Not a lot of players are good with him yet unless they've spent an assload of time, but those are outliers. So I am not going to ban him until we see like he's 58% or something, which I doubt, because he's so fragile. I did the hit points. I looked at the hit points and compared it to other mages. So Chromie, so these are level 10 numbers. So Chromie's in last place out of the mages at 1958, and Gul'dan's number 1 by 2516. But I guess better comparisons are Jaina and Kael'thas, and Jaina's 2021. Kel'Thuzad is 2139 and Kael'thas is 2255. So it's right in between Jaina and Kael'thas in terms of his feel for getting bursted down. So he's still a squishy guy. And like I said, add on top of that, the difficulty to land his skill shots and his hitbox. I think he's going to be probably good eventually, but not week one.
Yep. Also, last thing I'll note about KT is that if you're playing in silver or gold, I think Tyrael would be he'd be a really good last pick in Hero League. If you have like another, like if you have like if you have like Greymane and like ETC, like with like a lot of dive, if you go ahead and start the fight with the judgment on the KT, you can totally burst them down really fast. So I think if you're playing in those levels, I think Tyrael is really good if you go judgment and begin team fights by judging that particular by judging KT, you can get a lot of value. So, but
or you could also go Sank, and
hype.
if you see a combo coming, drop Sank on that location.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think Tyrael's gonna be really good for silver and gold. So just calling it out now. So all right, so let's move on. So Jaina, she got a rework. The new trait, after doing 15k in damage to chill targets, you get improved ice block. Previously a level 20 talent, so that helps her makes her a little bit more viable. Deep chill got moved to level 20, and it can be stacked twice. And I don't want to read all of these, but anyway, what do you guys think about Jaina?
Well, you're not supposed to. These are talking points.
Changes. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
have to
they're
just,
talking
like,
points
read
here.
them.
Oh, all right. Well, all right.
We can
So
discuss these things.
let's go to Scott about Jaina.
All right, so she basically got the survivability she had before a rework, where now you're able to get ice block earlier if you're playing well, and you're able to get the blink at level 20. You know, both those abilities were, well, she was able to pick up the ice block at level 20, but that's like really late. But she's back to about where she was, you know, a year ago. And I think that's going to make her a lot more viable because her range on abilities, particularly Blizzard, which is her main combo ability, is really short. So to be able to have some defense and survivability before level 20 is going to be huge for her. And the level 7 talent looks pretty interesting, where you do 75% more damage to heroes who have the slow. So mages right now,
Not
they're
heroes. It's targets.
I was looking on the PTR at Jaina's talents, and it said heroes.
I know it's worded incorrectly. It's shield targets.
On the
Oh,
notes,
really?
it
It's
says shield
targets, not just heroes.
Targets.
That's what it says in the
Shield
notes. at
targets.
least.
Damn, that makes it even better.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
it even better
Yeah.
because when
It's
the
really good.
auto attacking chilled targets, that talent, you do 75% more damage, which is pretty big bonus. But you also reduce the cooldown of Blizzard by 1 second per hit. So if you're able to just auto attack minion waves that are chilled from Blizzard or kind of cold or something, it's gonna increase the amount of times you can cast Blizzard significantly.
So
they took
this
away,
is
I think, one of her most important, most pick talents at level 7, the Frostbitten one. I remember that was the one that improved the damage on the chilled
better.
targets too, like 15,
Yeah.
20% or something. I guess they replaced it with this. But I don't know, I would still, if Frostbitten were still there, I would probably still like that. But I guess it got replaced.
but if you're perfect in auto attacks, then it goes from 14 or 15 second cooldown to 7.5 ish. So that is really fast if you think about it. And then if you get stim drone, you can get it down even more quickly.
Okay, stim drone is Jaina.
Yeah,
Fucking
that
stim
was
drone Blizzard
ridiculous.
Jaina. No, but this is what I was talking about when I nicknamed that thing the Be Diligent patch. So you get rewarded by auto attacking more to get more damage out. So you can squeeze out 1 or 2 more Blizzards, which is huge in a team fight. And also, if you do more damage, you also get Ice Block earlier. Let's say you get Ice Block before level 10. That way, when they get level 10, you can Ice Block on maybe Illidan's Hunt or Tyrael Judgment or things like that. So you just... the potential to snowball by yourself as a Jaina, it's so much higher.
Well,
And the ice block you get at when you finish the trait, it's actually the old level 20 ice block. It's exactly the same. So it's 40 second cooldown. It applies chill to effects around you.
I think
And,
the level 20, it was on a 20-second cooldown, wasn't it?
No, it was like 45 or 40, something
yeah,
similar.
it wasn't 20
Yeah.
seconds. It was more than that, for sure.
Yeah.
But how long do you think it'll take to get 15k damage to chilled heroes? It's not chilled targets, chilled heroes.
No, it's chilled targets. It's chilled targets. So waves add to the chilled damage.
No, it says here deal
No,
15k damage
I
to
think
chilled
it's-
enemy heroes.
It's
Yeah, I think it's
heroes.
heroes.
No, it's
And it's ability damage is the way it's worded, so the auto attacks don't count.
Yeah, it says, I'm looking at PTR right now. It says chilled heroes.
okay.
Yeah, I guess they got kind of mixed up with the level 7 one, the ice wand or whatever, and the trait. But how long do you think it'll take to get 15k like chill damage to heroes? Like, what level are you going to complete that?
Not
Like
long at all,
13?
though, I think.
Because I was wondering, because they kind of try to buff the water elemental, and I was thinking maybe, like, I mean, if it takes a long time, if you're playing badly, you can get the water elemental that sort of mirrors your spells too, and so you can complete that quest really quickly if you're behind at that point.
Yeah.
But I guess
So-
you gotta be doing really bad if you're not. You don't have 15.
I just got to bust in here. The ice block cooldown on live right now is 20 seconds. I was correct.
Oh,
20
really?
seconds.
Damn.
See how right I was.
My bad.
Yeah.
No way.
So
Misinformation.
let's see how much damage I do at level 4 with one combo. That's 1,234, 1, 2, 3, 4, with a full combo at level 4 on a single target.
But
It's not
and you gotta decrease the initial attack where they're not chilled.
Yeah, that's right.
Doesn't count.
The spear or whatever, the Q.
What do you mean?
Well, they're not chilled yet. You
initial
have to apply chill.
attack, yeah, the initial ability, they're not chilled. You gotta hit them with an ability to be chilled before you start stacking up your trade.
That's what I said. So one thing I was reading and researching were so if you want to maximize your chill target damage, your after targets are chilled, all your spells do 50% more damage, right? So actually you want to damage the target with a chill with the lowest damaging ability first before actually unloading the combo. That way you don't waste the ability. So usually people Cone of Cold and then apply Blizzard, but Blizzard's damage is 187 damage 3 times. So while Cone of Cold's damage is 303. So if you actually apply 1 tick of Blizzard and then use Cone of Cold and Frostbolt, that's actually more damage. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like Jiggly said in chat, EQW is actually not damage maximizing.
But it depends
actually
on what you're trying to
WEQ.
accomplish. Like sometimes if you're if you're throwing down the blizzard first, they might only take 1 hit of that blizzard before they get out because they're not slowed initially. Especially for a Cone of Cold, you gotta be in a closer range than Blizzard. Frostbolt has the longest range, so I mean, depending on positioning and whether or not they're slowed already, or stunned in place, that's going to change the variance of when you cast those abilities. It's not just all about damage.
Well, I was talking about more about the trait.
Right.
Yeah. And we don't know if the new Q build is going to be if the old Q build is still going to be good until we actually see it live.
You mean the one where it pierces?
Yeah, the one that it pierces and reduces cooldown.
No, with level 4 talent, we're getting mana back. It's kind of mandatory with the level 7 because you're going to drop Blizzard so damn often. And then you get mana back from the Blizzard cast. Like, otherwise you go really, really fast.
Nah, I don't think that matters, honestly.
You don't think so? Yeah.
Nah.
All right.
And do you think you'd get Lingering Chill that increases the chill from 4 to 6 seconds at level 1 so
No.
you could get more auto attacks?
No,
I would.
I've always just passed up on that one. It's like 2 seconds
not
more.
bad.
Like the auto attacks are kind of slow. I don't know.
No, she attacks 1 per second.
What Jiggly is not understanding in chat is he's saying EQW, so EQW, right? So yes, that's optimal if you want to make that target eat the more stacks of Blizzard, maybe another stack or 2 because they're chilled more sooner. They're chilled sooner and then you can queue again. So
Okay.
and the level 7, the auto attack talent only reduces the cooldown of Blizzard, not Q. So I think Chief Ratchet might be misinterpreting, unless he's talking about Ice Lance.
All right. So is this overall? It sounds as though that people like the changes for Jaina, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she gets a free level 20 talent that is, you might be having as early as 13, which is when she used to get Ice Block previously.
So the question I have with ETC and Anub'arak being very, very prevalent in the meta, is she viable, or is she only like viable when you have like a Johanna and a Arthas as tanks to protect her? Because like if the opposing team has ETC and a Nubrak, you don't want to go Jaina, right?
That's right.
I mean,
Why
that's
is
that's a
ATC
good
so
argument
bad?
against almost any mage, though. If they have really good access to the back line, then you don't
Well-
want a squishy mage.
Well, I'm
Right.
asking because when this all hits September 5th, whenever it comes live, people are going to be playing Jaina in Hero League, right?
I think she's gonna be either viable or as viable as she can get in the recent past.
Yeah, she's gonna be really good in 2-lane maps where you're in the 4-man and you're able to have a bunch of targets near you that you have an opportunity to chill a lot.
Okay, all right, okay. So, Tower Brand, do you think that she's more viable at the lower levels now, or the common
Yes.
levels?
Yes, just from the trait alone, having a defensive ability, because that's most of the time there's a lot of assassins you play against, and it's really easy for her to get picked off, and you can't really rely so much on getting peels. So having the possibility to have like an ice block early on was huge. That's why it was always kind of like hard to pick Jaina, especially in the first half of the draft, because someone would always pick some sort of like a stealth assassin like a Valera or someone else that could really pick off Jaina. So you don't really see Jaina as much. It's more Kael'thas and Gul'dan for that reason, because Kael'thas can stun people if they dive in on him. Jaina, not really. She can kind of slow, but I think the ice block, the possibility to get early on is huge. I think she's way more viable.
Okay, all right, let's move on. All right, so next is Chromie. Ugh. All right.
Be
All
quick.
right. So Chromie got reworked as well. So
Crummy.
Crummy.
yeah,
Chromie,
so
please.
who wants
Give her the right
to?
name.
I feel like the new trait that she has at the gain 80 hits against heroes with Sandblast. I think that's too much. But what do you guys think about new Chromie?
So I played a couple games with Crummy, and it's 80 hits. The way they word it in the description is freaking weird, but to simplify it, you need to hit 80 hits with Chromie, and consecutive hits when you don't miss your Q, that counts as 2 hits, so 2 credits towards the 80. And each hit is worth 5. So if you finish the quest, it's 400 extra damage on your Q, and then it also keeps stacking after that. So you can keep getting more damage. So it scales over time. And once you unlock 80 out of 80, then you get the old past and future me quest. Talent at level 20 that gives you the sand clone. So they nerfed her Q ability to start off with. Now it scales, that they bumped the damage down by like 25%, and they also changed the scaling to 2.5 because the scaling is made up by completing the trait or the quest. And if you finish the trait by level 17, 18-ish, which is Chromie's level 20 effectively, then you match the old scaling. You match the old damage. And anything faster than that, if you hit at level 16 or level 15, you're essentially doing level 22 double levels of damage compared to the old Chromie. So you actually do more damage if you're able to hit 80. Now,
So
yeah.
it sounds like it sounds like what you're saying is that if you're good with Chromie, then this is really good for her. But if you're shitty, like 90% of people, then this is a bad thing.
Yes.
Okay,
If you're amazing, you'll do better. If you suck, you'll do worse.
great.
Even worse. Even worse.
This is really bad for the common levels.
See, I
Yeah, so
also
just
don't
be
know
more
if
incentivized
80
to
is
pick
too
Chromie.
much, though. I think 80 is too much.
So basically, if you're playing Hero League and anything below Diamond level, you're gonna lose the game if you have a Chromie on your team.
And
Good
you're
luck,
being
guys.
incentivized to pick Chromie now too because they think she got a buff.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks.
It
It's
is
going
not
to
a
be very, very
buff.
prevalent. No, it's a skill tap increase similar to the Oriole of last patch.
You need to
All right.
hit like 4 or 5 shots a level to stay on par.
All right. All right, so Chromie sucks. So let's move on.
I think the only time we actually play her is in a brawl when we have to pick someone, right? That's the only time I've played her is in a brawl when you get randomized into all 5 Chromies or something. Like crap, I gotta pick.
That's the only time she should be played is in a brawl or or in a custom game.
No, she has her maps. Even the pros player.
I know, but I don't like her.
I don't think the pros will pick her now because of the pros don't like extended team fights like that where Chromie can actually get hits. So I think competitively Chromie's gonna be knocked out, but for the general shitty population, I think she's might be viable.
All right, so to be serious here, is Chromie like a tier 1 on Brax's holdout?
She's a strong pick. I wouldn't argue tier 1. Maybe a strong tier 2.
Okay, I think at the lower level she's way better than Braxis, for example, because people clump up a lot, and then if you have a competent Chromie, you can get her trait completed pretty quickly, I think. So.
Yeah, and at level 13, if you finish the trait before level 13, which is oh my god, you should be winning that game. Then you get the ability to trade places with your sand clone.
Okay.
And you could use that during team fights when you get dove on. You can swap places. That way you kind of fucking juke them. Or you can cast Q in the battlefield, herf back, and then swap places. That way you're actually back in the battlefield again. But I think they might fix that.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Leoric. So let's go to Old Backpack. What do you think about Leoric?
I first want to make a shout out to Tower Baron, who, a year ago said, "Hey guys, Leoric's attack doesn't cleave. What's wrong?" Because the animation is a giant swipe.
Yeah.
And they finally did it. They finally had the animation match what it does. So
it didn't make any sense before.
Kind of funny. It made perfect sense. It's an auto attack. Like I don't watch the animation of auto attacks. I just cast it and I'm done with it.
You guys don't watch the details in the game, man.
No, but yeah, Leoric's getting a pretty nice buff, namely because what? You don't think so?
Well, I mean that's a little bit of an understatement. You said a little bit of a buff. I think he's like a lot better, but
it's such a huge change for him. No, so before he used to be the wave clear master, right? Where his Q would just swipe down a wave, but now if he misses a hero in his Q, he gets a huge cooldown, a loss of cooldown reduction and a loss of mana. So he wants to be fighting in waves versus people when he's in lane, which is different from being the wave clear person that he was.
Well, the reduction in his swing is just they increase the cooldown to twice what it was before, and so if you hit it, it's back towards like the original cooldown.
Yeah,
right.
But you have to hit a hero with your Q, and if you're double soaking, that doesn't happen. So you have to be laning in someone, so it changes how he plays.
All right.
Yes.
So Scott, you've tried Leoric, right? Or no?
Yeah, he was one of our Leoric players for a while, I think.
Yeah, I played him on the PTR. It's a little bit awkward playing him right now because previously, or I guess on live right now, he's more of a wave clear champion. So if you go that, you pick up like fealty until death at level 1 and probably the skeletal swing at level 4, you'd build a little bit differently, but you have the opportunity now to build to just be like a life leech, champion where it's just ridiculous, where like level 1 you pick up where skeletal swing heals you for 4% per hero. So if you're in the middle of the enemy team doing that, you're casting life drain. You pick up March of the Black King, which heals for 12% per hit now, where previously it was 7%, and it does more damage. It can be really ridiculous, the amount of damage in life drain. And on top of that, he has like new utility talents too, like a Ominous Wrath at 13.
But to your point about he's less wave clear now, isn't that the point of his cleave now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. His cleave provides some wave clear now, but if you're specking it to consume vitality instead of fealty until death at level 1, that's gonna hurt your solo lane ability significantly, but your team fight ability is gonna be way better.
Well, what if the solo laner you're up against as Dio, which he's usually the solo laner, what if he sucks and he stands in the middle of the minion wave, and then you can get twice the amount of
If
Qs as
if it's
before?
against who?
Like if you cast your Q and it hits a hero, then it halves the cooldown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he sucks and he doesn't know, and stands in his minion wave, and you cast that shit,
Yeah,
then it's wave clear again, but
that would happen at the lower levels. I don't think that's gonna happen at your on my level.
I don't know. You could you can kind of debate him, and it has a pretty wide arc. You don't have to, as long as you hit the hero, you don't have to hit every single minion wave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So quick question: is March of the Black King now very, very viable?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And Tomb's cooldown got increased. March of the Black King's cooldown got decreased. Its damage got increased. Its healing got increased. I'd say it's the better ultimate right now.
The healing is insane.
It's basically a
Yeah.
self-ancestral if you can hit anybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, if you hit like 2 heroes twice out of the 3 swings, that's going into the middle of a team fight and just swinging. That's not unreasonable. That's like a 48% heal.
Yeah, it's like at least half his life, and he goes unstoppable when he does it too, right? So
Yeah, you're
Yes.
unstoppable.
So, with all these changes, where does Leoric fit now? Because he's no longer like a solo wave clear character anymore, right?
You
Is he
could be
more of it?
still.
Okay, but
He can be, so he can talent into it. His level 7 talent of like Neil minions, where he does bonus damage to the waves, that's still viable. But now he
Yeah.
has a wave clear build and a team fight build, so you can talent him to what you want him to do.
Yeah, you got different ways to go. You could go like a drain build, or you could go like a utility build where you pick up Ominous Wraith, and that every time you run through an enemy hero while you're wraith walking, it decreases the damage they deal by 50% for 4 seconds, and your wraith walk duration is increased. So you should be able to hit a lot of people before you come out of wraith walk. And if you pair that with a royal focus at 16, you can come out and swipe, and as long as you hit 2 heroes, your cooldown of your wraith walk should be reset, so you're able to like decrease the damage the enemy team's doing through wraith walk, and the potential to nullify damage on the other team with that build seems kind of ridiculous.
and I
It's
think
also Leoric's first source of damage mitigation. Before, he's just a giant damage sponge, but now he can actually mitigate damage for everyone, which is very, very new for him.
he has that one ability that gives him armor when he has his Drain Hope up too, the 20 armor, I think, on the same talent tier as the Ominous Wrath one too. So yeah, he has damage mitigation, a lot of sustain, a lot of damage now. It's he's a lot better, I think. So I actually liked his talent that lets him like not slow down when he has Drain Hope, so that's why he can keep people like drained the whole time. Because normally he would slow down, they just kind of walk away. But I think that was pretty cool. One of the coolest abilities I saw.
so is Leoric basically a better Sonya?
Kind of similar. Kind of similar to the team fight.
Useful.
Eh,
I don't know if Leoric can creep
Yeah.
as well as Sonya though.
Exactly. Also, I think Sonya's still better than solo lane.
Yeah, Sonya's like
Yeah.
the king of solo lane.
Okay, so okay, Leoric is being picked in about 11% of games. So in 3 weeks, is Leoric going to be played more often because he is more viable in more situations?
He's a lot more sustained, a lot tankier, for sure.
Yeah, his damage mitigation is huge, and he's going to be played, I think, more as a bruiser using a March of the Black King, where right now on live, if you don't go Entomb, you're kind of useless for your team, and you just Entomb and you just kind of create a kill box for your allies to hit, where he's going to be more utility and just draining the shit out of people with all his life drains.
Pretty much.
All right, think about this. At level 13, there's Ominous Wrath, which this is brought up by Jiggly, so thanks, Jiggly.
Yeah.
This increased Wraithwalk's duration by 100%, that's whatever. But enemy heroes that come in contact with the Wraith deal 50% less damage for 4 seconds. 50%.
Yeah,
so that is huge.
I said that like a couple minutes ago.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I was researching. I was trying to look at that.
Yeah.
Did you mention level 16?
I was saying you pair that with the Royal Focus at 16.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're right. You could reduce like half the team's damage by 50% for like 8 seconds if you combo those two.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think it's too synergetic though?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that it ends up getting nerfed when you basically nullify the enemy team's damage. Especially, you don't have to put yourself at risk to do that with the Wraith Walk's duration increased by 100%. So it lasts, what? It lasts 2.5 seconds now. So it's 5 seconds to go from like your back line to dive in the enemy team to reduce in damage. And when you pop out, you pop a skeletal swing with your level 1 consume vitality. You can pop a heal. Your cooldown's not that short till that's up again, and you can Wraith Walk again to reduce damage even more. It's gonna be brutal.
So, question: if they walk through you once and then walk through you again during the same cast of the E, does it reapply?
I would think it refreshes.
I would think it refreshes too.
Things like that usually refresh.
That's really good then.
Because I think, what is it, like an 8-second Wraith Walk now? Like 8 seconds, he's just kind of like hovering around.
Oh, you mean like if it's an 8-second walk, you hit him once and then you come back 5 seconds later and hit him again? I don't think it reapplies. That doesn't usually reapply.
No, but you go and Wraith Walk and do your whole hitting them all and come out of Wraith Walk. And when you
EQE, yeah, the second E will refresh it, but I'm not saying the same E from the first E is not going to refresh.
Oh, yeah. If it's already applied, it won't restart the timer.
It'd refresh it to 4 seconds, wouldn't it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's
I think if it
the reason I say that is because like Diva's Q ability, that is a movement boost ability that knocks players around, and then if you come back a second time, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but like if Jaina, you cast your Frostbolt and it slows. If you cast it again,
but that's a second ability.
Still slowed. Yeah, but it refreshes.
But this is a refreshing ability in the same cast, which shouldn't be possible.
I don't think it'll refresh if it's still applied on the target. Like, I think if it expires and you cast it, like, it gets reapplied at that point. I would think.
I mean, even if it doesn't refresh, the 50% damage reduction, if you're able to hit multiple people with that, it's huge. Especially, all you gotta do is hit their assassins. You hit with all these double supports now with hyper carries. You hit the Lunara or the Malthael, who's like post 16, his trait hits like a truck, or Vala, and the damage on the enemy team is terrible.
Yeah, hopefully this kills double support. I can't wait for that to happen.
What about the Entomb Silence? His level 20 has 5 abilities now, so
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I really like it.
Yeah, it's a cool little buff, but I think his playstyle is so much different now, because before he would just kind of walk around. Like, maybe he gets an Entomb off and then you can kind of engage if he's a solo tank. And he would just kind of drain hope and kind of like walk around and hit things. But now he has so much more utility to dive in. So the Entomb Silence, I think it's not worth getting. Like, you're going to sacrifice March of the Black King at 10 to wait for an Entomb Silence at level 20. I don't think it's worth it. It's cool, but I think
Also,
March is way better.
Well, many
not
many times
go ahead.
there are like heroes that can carry the game on the enemy team. Where if you had the silence, then that character's dead no matter
Yeah.
what. So like
Like in
if you
Ariel.
can catch Genjis now, but they just steal away. But
Hmm.
if you catch Genji at level 20 with silence, that Genji's dead.
Yeah.
I never like picking talents, like assuming the game's gonna go to level 20. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this would be cool at like level 20 or something.
But
You remember all this game play in
Entomb
between.
is
Zebo.
still good
Zebo.
because Entomb is still so good for picking people off.
It's good. I still think March is way better at that.
Yeah. So I think for lower levels, games aren't really competitive at level 20. Like games are pretty much snowballed. You know.
Yeah, the focus fire isn't there.
Yeah. So I think at the lower levels, it's better to like win the early game and just snowball it because people will just start flaming each other, and you can just win that way. But I think if you're playing in team league, then it has way more viability. The Entomb silence combo. So, but all right. So lastly, I think if you're in gold or lower, Leoric is a tier 1 hero, and you should practice him now because noobs will not be able to handle him whatsoever.
They will not be able to kill him. And then
Upper levels too.
And then you get killed.
I think there's enough talent diversity, and the heroics are flexible enough. He has good level 20s. He's already viable in masters and above, so I just think this is just good for everyone.
So so it sounds like people are going to start playing him more because I said he's currently played in 11%, so I think it could go up to like 30%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that means he's like a tier, easily like a fringe tier 1 character then.
I think he's gonna be tier 1.
Yeah, well, for lower levels, he could be tier S, if in the right hands.
Those characters that you need focus to kill, and characters that have either a lot of escapes, like a Genji or a Tracer, or a lot of sustain. Those are just kind of the carry heroes that no one can really kill, unfortunately. So
yeah, okay, it's probably going to be on par with the other bruisers now. Where right now, Dahaka, Sonya, or even Double Tank, he's going to be thrown into that mix now, where he's considered. Where right now on live, he's more of like a niche pick.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So moving on. So lastly, the last rework came for Morales. So let's go to our support main, and that is Bacon. What do you think about Morales?
You, Fringe? Wasn't that you? Aren't you the Morales player?
No, Bacon's the Grandmaster support player.
All
so
right,
let's
you were
go
the
to
Morales player.
Let's go to Morales. Or go to Bacon about Morales.
Let's go to Morales. I'm not complaining.
Go Morales.
Shit. Come here, Morales. So I played like 3-4 games with Scott, with Morales. Overall, to start off with, I like it more than current Morales, but there are some trades to make. So some stats first. Her Q ability was stealth nerfed. It's by 6.25%, so it's a tiny bit less. And for those of you who don't know, it's gonna do 90 heal tick twice per second. So it's 180 heals per second, but that's divided up into 2 ticks of 90 at level 1. So old level 1 medic is out of mana in 40 seconds, but if you're out of mana as Morales, then you can't do anything. You can't heal, you can't use your shield sequencer, you can't use your shield, you can't use heroic, your grenades, you're completely useless as a Morales. But if you're out of mana, with the new Morales, you can still use WE heroic. So, because those are not mana based now, those are all time based. And the new medic with the energy, so she heals at 6 energy per second. And if you're out of mana or not healing for 3 seconds, then it restores at 6 energy a second. So new medic is out of energy in 17 seconds, but takes 20 seconds to recover. But if you're still at 1 energy or 0 energy, you can still cast abilities for free. So that's still nice. You still get the 25 armor that you can still use. So her new trait is 20. She gets 2% health per second when healing someone. So that also works like if the target you're healing is full health, but you still have damage to heal, you'll recover 2% health per second because of the trait, but you're not going to be gaining or losing any energy because of that. So let's say you still have some energy left, but you are low on health and you want to heal back up, just put a healing beam on somebody with full health, and then you'll still gain healing. And one full energy bar heals Morales for a third of her health. So keep that in mind. And why I like this change is, yes, the old talent gave her a lot of healing after 3 seconds of not taking damage, but you had to be completely out of combat and not taking damage and then heal for 10 seconds. So you're completely out of the fight for 10-15 seconds while you're trying to heal back up. But with this new ability, as long as you're healing someone, you're also healing yourself. So like at level 13 you get couples therapy, but you get couples therapy at level 1, so it makes that so that Morales is also able to take damage earlier on without needing to completely back. And yes, the new playstyle is going to force Morales to baby the energy and kind of turn it on and off. But I think if you're, like from the games I play with Scott, if you're able to properly manage your energy, and when you pick up energy talents, properly manage those, like the auto-attacking energy one or the shield one that grants energy per hit, then you're pretty much, you never have to back with her new playstyle. And
So,
if you got too low and you think you need a tap, then you still have a tap, but you almost never need to tap if you're healing someone constantly. So
yeah, is she no longer the quintessential heal bot?
at her heart, she's still a heal bot, but
Okay.
she's less of that now, and you can influence the game more, I think. And
Also,
one
the
cool
grenade
thing with
talents
the
look
art,
really fun.
what?
The grenade talents look really fun.
Yeah, but I'm staying away from those and going more supporty talents, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the grenades show an explosion radius now when you throw it. There's like a dotted circle around it, like maybe Brightwing's heal area, so you know how big the explosion radius is when you're throwing it out. So that's useful.
Yeah, and
Just
also
confirm.
yeah,
Sorry, to confirm that the grenade talents aren't good. They're fun. Just to make that very clear.
Which is okay. Which means I'll probably play Morales now.
Yes, Morales.
So basically, wait. So basically, Morales is the really hot girl that's really dumb, but she'll be really fun for like 2 weeks.
I wouldn't think
She's
that
really
far
I
into
think
it,
she'll
but
continue to be fun. I think she's gonna be in the meta now. Now she still has the same weaknesses of if you dive her, she's pretty much dead. And that's even more true now because they nerfed the medevac, because what players do now in this current life patch is medevac when they think they're gonna get dove on, like medevac 2 feet away. That way they have a second health bar with the medevac and they can stay alive. But medevac health was reduced a lot by like 30-40%. And there's a minimum cast range now.
Yeah, although it's a shorter time you have to wait before taking it off.
Yeah.
So is this a good team comp? Like
this is gonna be a bad team comp.
Oh, I love it when Fringe just makes up team comps.
This is leading into like some bad team comp.
Is like Morales, KT, Arthas, Johanna, and Chromie. Like, is that like an ideal team comp for all those players?
No, that's a double solo tank. I mean, no, that's double mage. You never go.
But you know what I
double
mean,
mage.
though. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of comp that Morales would do well in, with like an Arthas and like someone to like just keep everyone else away from her. I
think Morales truly shines if you have like a Cassia, like a hard carry that you can babysit with your healing beam.
Mm-hmm.
Cassia's biggest problem is once she goes in and trades damage. Like, yeah, she can do more damage than she takes, but she's still kind of fragile, especially to ability damage. And if you have a Morales or someone like an Ariel to baby her health, then she'll eventually win the trade. So players like that, and like Vala, Lunara.
So, all right, is she tier S on Braxis?
Why does it always come back to Praxis?
Because that's her biggest map. Her biggest win rate map is Braxis.
She's good.
Really?
Like,
Someone else?
I wouldn't say TRS, but highly contested, probably.
Well, I mean, like, who would you rather have, Rhaegar or Morales?
Yeah. Rhaegar's good too.
Okay.
Because he can help camp and finish off kills. But the new art for the grenade actually helps with that because you can know exactly when to explode it and try to get the proper angle and push him back to you. Keep him from running away. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else have anything on Morales? Okay. All right. So let's move on. So I guess we wanted to talk about Garrosh or Gary in pro play.
Just in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Segue.
Yeah, is it a segue
Awesome
there,
segue.
Fringe? What are you doing with that?
Is that open
All right.
cue to talk
Yeah,
about
that was a
stuff?
Bacon, take
little
it away.
Every
Thank
time
you.
it's silent, it's just
Thank
bacon.
you,
Everyone looks
Scott.
at bacon when it's silent.
Yeah.
It's silent. Look at bacon.
What I do. So, Garrosh had a pretty good weekend the past 2 weeks. So, roll 20 is 6-0 with him, L5 3-0, Tempest 2-0, MVP Blacks 1-0. But, you know, take it with a grain of salt because all these games are against bad teams like RRR and Raven and, I don't know, Team Naventic or Team Lag F now.
Team Liquid.
And, Team Liquid.
You said it.
20
Yeah,
beat they 3-0'd Tempo Storm, right?
Oh,
Aren't
yeah.
they, like on the
yeah.
same level.
Oh, by the
I
way,
felt so good.
yeah, I had a huge boner when I saw that they lost 3-0. Just want to.
Yeah, me too. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Keep
if
doing
they-
that. I like
If
that.
they go 0 and
Keep doing
20
that.
for season 3 or whatever the fuck we're in, I'd be happy. I want that for Christmas. Anyway,
They're-
go on.
Their drafting was terrible. Like, how are you down 2-0 against Roll20 when they first pick in Garrosh and they 3-0'd another team first pick in Garrosh and you don't ban them? Like, how do you let them go through every game?
No,
Yeah,
we
ban
gotta
Medivh
ban
instead.
Diablo and Medivh, guys, because that's the heroes
Yeah.
they play.
Yeah.
Or get patches. And
But anyway, go
develop the
ahead.
meta.
Go ahead, Bacon. Finish up the Gary stuff.
So, so in NA in Korea, he was pretty good, and in Europe, he was a fail with going 0-6. And I read some comments and some articles, and a lot of people think that Garrosh is good at being an anti-dive hero. So if a Sonya is jumping in or going into the front line, well, Garrosh just tosses them back to the back line and bye-bye Sonya. So, or same thing with Greymane or heroes like that. So that might be why, because Korea has a kind of aggressive, divey, risky playstyle and kind of depend on team fight mechanics to win them the day, and that's why Garrosh might be winning out, because Garrosh kind of puts a stop to those plans, and Europe is a little more strategic, methodical. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. Pokey.
I think you want to
They're
say better. They're
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Better?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
so vastly
Like
better.
as much like my other Korean friends, he would say Garrosh, the European meta is much more better.
Much more better.
Much more better. That's his grammar. But in Hero League and Team League, I think all of you will agree with me that his biggest strength is that we're not used to his playstyle and his abilities. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
So,
that's
Like the
Half
thing
of
I'm
it.
constantly doing against good Garroshes is just staying within that edge of his Q and constantly getting hit. Like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot every time I get hit.
Yeah.
And I do that like 5 times over the course of the game. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Got
I
it
mean,
again.
it's counterintuitive, but you can't stand at that max attack range for a ranged damage dealer. You want to either poke and back up real quick or get a little bit closer, because in the that max attack range is pretty much where he pulls you in.
It's like exactly Vala's auto attack range.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah,
fucking
I mean,
stupid.
what you want is you want a tank in front of you, and you stand like right behind the tank, I guess. That way you got like Garrosh is, if he runs forward, you know, the tank is a throw target, not you. And, you know, you're not getting pulled in. It's kind of a tightrope that people haven't learned how to play with and deal with yet.
For a game or two, I try to meta the Garrosh. Like, if he throws at his Q, then I'll just move closer to him and avoid the throw. And he just throws me, walks up to me and throws me. Yeah. I'm a fucking idiot. But hey, at least I tried something.
Okay, so go ahead and discuss the characters that he's good with, who he pairs well with, and counters and so forth.
So obviously with his Q ability, his toss, and then if you go into the fray at level 7, his save potential or dive potential with throwing players like Genji or Sonya or Butcher, you know, give him armor and give him engages too. So he has good teamfight control, but he has horrible engages. So usually he needs some kind of frontliner, melee, bruiser, tank to kind of do the engage for him. Unless the enemy team is horrible at positioning, but then that's just the enemy team being bad, not you being good. So according to Hot Slogs, and he's good against Chen, makes sense, right? When he's sitting there drinking, you just aim your Q and throw him, right? And interrupt his drinking. So Li Ming's very fragile. Morales, Valera, Stitches, Alarak.
Yeah, but to be fair, like none of those characters, other than maybe Li Ming, is in the meta right now, right? So,
actually, the characters I picked out, besides Valera, they were frequent matchups in the Master and Diamond level.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I see Alarak quite a bit.
What?
Yeah, they were
really.
They were frequent matchups. All these heroes I picked, except for Valera, but Valera is the #1 hero to pick against Garage if you want to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to lose.
I felt when I played Rainer against Garrosh, that was pretty strong. Like he couldn't really do anything. You just stay at your max.
His attack range is longer. Like,
yeah, you can't do anything. So that was pretty cool.
And then if he casts something, you can just queue him out.
Yeah, that's right. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so he's good against those characters. He pairs well with Zool. Obviously makes sense. You root somebody, and as soon as it wears off, you cast your Q. Don't cast the Q when he's rooted, because all he's going to do is make him jump up and down in the same spot. It's not going to actually move him towards Garrosh. Lucio, obviously, movement speed, low healing, because it keeps Garrosh in the higher armor state longer. Rhaegar and ancestral healing, nothing more, and storm shield. Tyrande, you could use trait on whoever he throws, try to burst them down. Zagara, just because of the good poke and split pushing. Karazim, use your 7-sided strike on whoever he throws, burst them down. Yeah. And counters. I looked this up, man. The best hero to pick against Garrosh, according to Hot Slogs, is Rhaegar, and I'm not quite sure what to make of that.
Wait, Rhaegar?
Yeah,
I think
he's one of the
that's
best counters and the most frequent counters against Garrosh, and I don't quite get it.
Not Malthael? Isn't Malthael the counter? That's who was designed for.
No, Malthael's in the
just
top third.
In a real strong,
Yeah.
area right now. He's the top healer right now, isn't he?
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think it's a function of Rhaegar just being the best healer.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it also works well with pairings too.
Yeah, I think that's what that is. So, because Rhaegar's game doesn't really seem to counter.
Yeah, and Rhaegar is good at helping melee people deal damage. So I was playing a game earlier today where the tank or the bruiser would get thrown in, and you cast lightning shield on them, and they're lightning shielding like the whole team because the Garrosh was just throwing them in the middle of the enemy team. So you get a lot of damage that way as well.
You could cast Ancestral and a Cleanse and try to get him out of there too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got tools to help him survive, whoever he's stove on too.
All right.
I'll also say that Samuro actually counters Jirash pretty well because you can't flip him. Because I was playing Jirash versus Samuro and I just couldn't do anything to him. It was actually really embarrassing.
So Samuro in general, hot slugs right now is top of the game, which is
weird, right?
Yeah. But then again, he's also picked like 2% of the time.
Yeah.
So other counters to Garrosh, Zul, obviously because of his root, and his slow that he has with his ultimate, and good poke because once you go his Q ability, and then get the reduced healing, say goodbye to Garrosh. ETC because of his slide and displacement ability with his W. Kalthas, Anub, Malthael, Leoric, those kind of speak for themselves. But yeah, I think what do you guys think of Garrosh in terms of where he fits?
I don't know. I think he's okay.
I think he's really good. I think he's good at isolation kills. Like he's in a team fight, he's kind of shitty, but he's very good at getting isolated kills.
Yeah, he's really annoying to play against.
I kind of see it's when both teams are trying to poke at each other, and then one person just overextends and he gets thrown over, and then like, oh crap, then everyone just kind of disengages, and you have to play defensive. That's kind of what I see. People think they can get close enough to poke him, and then they get tossed, and then that kind of throws like for the next few like seconds or minute until they respawn. So he's good at I guess taking people.
He thrives there.
Yeah, when people are kind of like poking, they're trying to get free hits in. So
well, let's say you're Vala, right? You want to auto attack, so then that's the exact range of Q. So then Vala gets picked off, and you win the team fight. That's where he excels at. Like he's just
kind of waiting for you to kind of try and poke him.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I get used to him, he'll be less effective. But at the same time, there are some games where he's standing at like 20-30% HP, and he just refuses to die. And then once you get him low, he pops his trait at level 13, and he gets 75 armor. Like, go screw yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So moving on. So there was an article that came out a couple days ago where they asked some pro players about the state of the game. Now, the only thing that stood out again, almost forgot. If you want to read the article, we'll post it at in the show notes for the podcast at gankbushsquad.com. But the one
I posted it in chat.
Okay. So the one thing that stood out the most from the entire article was they asked Breeze, the tank player for Fnatic, and they asked him what recommendation do you have to get better at tank play, and he said this: the best advice I can give is to just start one tricking Diablo. Playing Diablo to his full potential requires everything you need to be a good tank player. You need to punish people for overstepping. You need to peel for your backline, and you need to engage well. And Diablo is excellent at all of those things. So there you go. Even though I butchered the sentences there, but yeah. So when I have time, I'm actually going to work on my Diablo because of what Breeze said. So, but yeah. So if you want to get better at tank play, Diablo, according to Breeze, and I think it makes a lot of sense actually. So. Get better at Diablo, and you'll be a better tank player because it actually, yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Well, let's explain why that is. Because Diablo, he can engage really hard, but if he engages at the wrong time, you get blown up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the opposing team overextends, you can punish them very effectively. So those are the two very important roles of a tank, and Diablo excels at those things. So. You practicing Diablo and mastering when to do these either peel or engage is the roles of a tank, and you get punished very hard if you botch either one of those. and so it helps you learn very, very quickly.
I
Yeah,
should just
and
learn Leoric.
Diablo also
Leoric is
has
super
one of
strong.
he also has one of the best ultimates in the game that pairs well with a lot of other heroics and heroes.
Yeah,
And,
Epoch.
he has a high health pool. He has technically 2 lives, although the second life is really shitty.
Yeah, and also, if you're playing lower levels, like he has a really easy way to tell your team who to focus. So if you use your ability to flip him over you, it tells your team, hey, kill this guy.
Yep.
So that also helps as well for lower levels. So, but anyway, yep. But anyway,
and he's
it's a
also
pretty
one of
cool-
the few heroes where proper positioning actually not just keeps you in the game, but carries the game for you. Because if you're able to properly angle, your Qs into walls and get flips like that, I mean, it's amazing.
Yep. So I think he's really good. Well, he can be really good if you're in the high or low silver and you want to get the gold. I think learning Diablo is very very important, I think. So all right, but anyway, all right. So moving on. So with the season coming to an end by the
Are we skipping all this other work that we talked about? I spent 30 minutes.
At least
hell,
read the
bro?
quote right above
At least
it.
mention it. There's other good information in there.
I like-
You're just gonna
I
skip
just picked
over
the one I
Scott
wanna
and
talk about,
I.
and that's it.
Scott and I doing 25 minutes of work there.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to bring that up because none of it really. I didn't feel like it was.
None of it really
matters to
bad,
them.
except for that.
Yeah, how about the quote of Breeze saying he creates whatever meta he wants?
Yeah,
that
that's
one
pretty
was
cool.
awesome.
Well, when you're on Fnatic, you can say shit like that. So, but it was like to be honest, like to go through the entire article, it's like a whole show. But okay, what's
Not
Ways
really.
didn't
We can-
work.
That's why we did it in bullet points.
all right?
What did the
What stood
fans
out-
say in the chat?
What stood out to you guys from the article then?
How about the bakery quote on double support?
Yeah,
Right?
he says.
Or you can read it.
Oh, go for it. Read it.
All right. In some compositions, I feel like supports are in a fantastic position. There are also a lot of situations where there are 2 supports, which seem to greatly reduce the skill floor and ceiling of not just the support players, but the whole game.
Well read, first of all. Very good.
Yeah, that is. Scott
Oh
will
my
read all of our
God,
quotes.
Scott's
Scott
gonna
will
read
everything
all the
from now
quotes.
on.
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I got lucky on that one. Don't give me.
I read it with no fuck ups. I got
Don't give me
I
too
can
much
read.
Yeah,
I can read.
Eh,
but this,
in
this
some
quote-
in some compositions, I feel like I feel like supports are in a fantastic position. That's my
Impression.
impression. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
not a very good
well,
one,
he's
but
Swedish, right?
you guys get the point.
yeah.
But I agree. You pick double support, you press your healing abilities, and then you win the game
yeah,
because
it's
none of your other
much
players
more-
never die.
much more forgiving. You can make a ton of mistakes and still come out on top, where the enemy team has to execute extremely precisely to get a kill. It makes the other team's got to play way better than you do to win the game, and a lot of times.
Yep. And he says, as a tip for getting better at supports, the most important part of a support is understanding how best to use your tools. And in the previous support bacon bits, I think I made a point saying that do not use your abilities just because they're off cooldown. Right?
The way you covered on how to play Rhaegar, that might have been a couple episodes ago, was really kind of an example of that, of how to use your skills to the best of your ability.
Yep. If you have your Ariel's whip just to push someone back, that is completely a waste of a cooldown when you can properly position and then get maybe a stun and a Q off and maybe a kill eventually.
Oh, you're looking at Fringe when you said that. Looking over
I
at
see
Fringe.
everyone do it who sucks at Ariel. It's not just Fringe. and he has decent aerials, but he has a decent aerial, but he also has a tendency to use E whenever it's off cooldown. So if he fixes that one part of his play, I mean, I think he has a pretty solid aerial, to be honest. Besides sometimes missing Aegis, which is just whatever.
Oh man.
What's up,
What was
Fringe?
that?
Oh no, Michael Fulmer is going to have Tommy John probably. That's not good.
Is that a
Sorry. It's baseball. Sorry.
MLB? Okay.
Yep. All right. I wasn't paying attention, but okay. So yeah. Okay.
I said use your whip correctly, but
oh, don't worry. I use it
said it
correctly in the
specifically
bedroom.
just for you. But okay.
But you're at whips now.
Oh,
That's where it counts the most.
Exactly.
yeah.
So, but all right. So, yep.
And Dark Monk from Team Liquid says for Melee Assassin, I think having good movement and paying attention to every auto attack is really important to be an effective Melee Assassin, because you can stutter step and like eventually get into a position where you're body blocking the other person you're trying to kill, things like that. So like if you auto attack Q and auto attack, that might be enough movement so that you're on the other side of the person you're attacking, or to body block. So things like that. Maximizing your damage.
Some abilities cancel your attack animation. Like Pat talks about the Butcher, the hamstring resets his attack animation.
Yep.
I think
Also,
the same goes for
Ragnaros's
Sonya's
Q.
Slam.
Ragnaros's
Yeah,
Q also, cancels.
Yeah, if you want to see a fantastic melee assassin body block while attacking, just watch Rich's Illidan. He's like the god at it. It's really, really impressive.
Yep. And for range, Chris from Plain Duck says hard carries like Vala, Lunara, Greymane do both physical and spell damage well. So that's probably why mages who rely on long cooldown burst combos and are kind of ineffective during their cooldowns, that might be why they're not in the meta right now, especially in competitive play. Why pick a mage to burst somebody when Cursed Bullet exists and you also have a Greymane who can auto attack like for a shit ton?
Yeah, and we're in a double support meta. You blow your load and you don't kill the person, and your abilities, your combo doesn't come up for another like 10 seconds, and that person's healed back to full. So the double support kind of kills the mages as well.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, all right.
And
so
I guess honestly, the other things I wrote down, now that I'm rereading over it, we can skip it.
Yeah,
So,
I told you.
You're
All right.
welcome. Screw you, Fringe. There's a lot of work to put all these things in the show. Scott and I took an hour out of our days to.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to do that. This was my idea for this topic. Was my idea. I didn't ask you to do that.
And you put one quote.
It was the most important one. That's why.
It's you.
Exactly. That's all that matters.
You condensed 3 pages of good article material to one quote, and you're just gonna skip over it.
I think it had the most impact for the most players. That's why I chose that one line. But anyway,
But that is true. Learn Diablo.
yeah,
I need to learn Diablo too.
Yeah. All right. So our last topic is, I guess this is just more of a fun talk, because this isn't going to change the way that Hero League is set up. But do you guys think that Hero League should go back to having 2 players, or having up to 2? Yeah, 2. The queuing up as 2. Obviously,
you mean should or want to?
Both, I guess.
I think.
Well, they're different things. Like
I'd want to play like duo queue, but I don't think it's the best for what Hero League is supposed to provide.
Yeah, I think it's never, the way that it's set up now with Team League, it's never going to go back, ever, unless something really, really happens with Team League where they have like 4-on-1s play maybe. But yeah. So I think Hero League is supposed to be a true representation of your ability, and the only way to do that is to have 10 players who don't know each other playing. But it also
can we
helps.
start with a simple vote first between the cast?
Sure.
So, Fringe, you're against duo queue. I am
Oh.
for.
I'm against duo queue. So thumbs down.
Thumbs up. Rest of you guys.
Uh-oh. Yes.
Fringe.
Oh, Fringe.
Thumbs down.
Yep.
Also, another
So-
thing that is that it makes the matches more uneven. Because if you have a
That's
gold
the-
level player and a silver level player, then the matches are going to be playing up. You could still get carried. So if you're like a
Well,
gold
no,
one,
they said you had to be within like one level of each other. They
Yeah,
put
You
restrictions.
had to be
restrictions
within
on
one
that.
No.
tier. You could
Yeah.
be like a diamond 1 playing with like a plat 5. Like that skill range is very
Huge.
big.
exactly.
Well, you could just constrain it more to just you have to be in the same, the same level.
Or you can
Like,
also
if
be
they
like
they went
within
like 5 ranks. That would
within
be
like
good.
5 ranks or something. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I think that's what happened when they did have it. Is like if you're in gold, you could play with like if you're a gold 1, you could be playing with the silver 5 player.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
think that was
within
not
like
good.
9 or 10 ranks.
Yeah, but that's how they ran it. Whatever 4 seasons ago or whatever it
Well, I
was.
think if they brought it back as is before they removed it, I think we're gonna have the same problems. I'd say within like, so 1 rank is 1,000 points. So if you're within 45,000 points of your partner,
Mhm.
that's a pretty good range to work
Yeah,
with.
that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
But
I think just
the
the possibility to game it and sort of carry someone else, like you can just play with someone else who's smurfed, like Chief Ratchet says in the chat. I think that was the problem they had with duo queuing, that you want to have something that's kind of like a more competitive, but then it could be kind of gamed if someone had a smurf around the same level, especially in the more common level players.
But I think it's good if you're a support main, especially if you're like a gold level support player. I think it'd be awesome if you had duo queue back, because then you can queue up with like a carry assassin, and then if you do a good job of supporting that carry, then you can actually win games that way. So, but
Heroes in the chat. Hero, what do you think of duo queue? Are you for or against it? Well, that's what we're talking about. I would also say Hero League, if you're constantly grinding and trying to get a good rank like every good Hero Leaguer should do if they want to improve, it's a pretty lonely place.
Yeah.
You can
I
get
don't think
burnt
you
out pretty
could-
quickly.
You can't implement a duo queue until you make voice comms available to everybody. Because that's kind of, I think, one of the main advantages that a lot of the people, that duo queue, or, even if you're playing on ranked draft, everybody we play with on comms for the most part, and that gives you a communication advantage. And I think that should be made available to everybody on both sides if you're going to allow duo queues.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I honestly don't believe in the next calendar year duo queues will come back to Hero League.
Oh, they will never. I don't think so. But this
Yeah.
is just a fun thought experiment.
Yeah.
Like personally, as a support player, if I really love Ariel, like which I do, I think Ariel's great. But it's also a conditional pick where I need a great Vala player, and if like I was able to play with Scott in Hero League, and he picks Vala and I pick Ariel, that's gonna be great, and we'll have a great time in Hero League. Yeah, we can do it in Team League. Yeah, but I mean it's not the same.
Yep. All right. So we actually got an email. Our last thing is that we got an email from Splash Gizmo, and he says there's a ton of chatter in the community about limiting the map pool and discontinuing the addition of more maps. What is the opinion of the GankBush squad?
More maps is more fun.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think
More
if you're
balanced maps is more fun.
Yeah, there's some maps I don't want to play on, like Warhead Junction, the Mines, and the Garden of Terror. I don't want to play on any of those maps. and the pros don't want to play on them either, so they're not even in the map pool for them.
Yeah. What the fuck, guys? You think you're too good for us? You gonna play haunted mines like the rest of us plebs? God damn it.
We have enough maps now that I'd like to see like a map veto system.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that. Yeah.
Rather than a rotation.
I like the idea of that when when you're about to go to the lobby, there's 3 maps. Everyone just votes for the map they want of the 10 players, and whoever gets the most votes win. Why can't you just do that? Just have it be like 10 seconds, or like 15 seconds, and then have,
Halo did a system similar to that, and what ended up happening is 2 or 3 of the maps got 90% of the votes in playtime.
Well, good.
Yeah, I can see that happen.
That's a good thing, though.
That's good for the first month, and then everyone will be like, "I'm sick of Cursed Hollow."
Yeah, then it'll change.
Then vote for something else.
And then it would just be like an artificial rotation of like 2 maps that the community wants to play.
Well, I mean, if you're playing Hero League, I think that's what people want. Like,
the
you're
game
there
exists so people play what they want to play.
Yeah, if you want to play any map, then go to unranked draft or go to quick match. But in Hero League, I think those games count more. So if you want to play on a balanced map, then you should be able to vote for it.
I think you should vote for your map on quick match too, because sometimes like I don't want to play quick match because I may pick my hero may be awful on that map, and I can't do anything.
But I would argue that if it's quick match, then it gives you the opportunity to get to try the character out in a different arena.
You could try it out, but then you would never pick that character for that map, and you just get oh crap, this sucks. Like I picked the worst character.
It sounds good on paper, but I think it'll kill the map diversity in the game because that's what it did for Halo. Like I quit Halo. Want map diversity. I quit Halo because if I played 30 games, 28 of the games were on the same map.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if there's a rotation of, we'll say, for a given period of like 9 maps, right? So when you get in my example, if you get those 3 maps, like maybe Cursed Hollow is picked all the time, but like sometimes the 3 maps that you can choose from are not Cursed Hollow. So there will be map diversity.
Hey, what about this? What about this? You get a random map, but then everyone has the choice to re-randomize it, like they get a re-roll.
No. What's wrong with just having 3 map choices and just
That's what Halo did.
Yeah, but
that's why we ended up with 28 out of 30 maps being the same.
But then what I say is that if Cursed Hollow is picked a lot, right, then just reduce the amount of times Cursed Hollow is available to be picked or to be chosen, right? Instead of having Cursed Hollow be available for 20% of the games, just have it be like 8%, so that it forces map.
Out of the maps so far, I'd say the community really dived towards like 5 of the maps, right?
Well,
5 or 6.
Well, the thing is that when I play Team League and I see Garden of Terror, if I see fucking Haunted Mines, I just groan because I know it's gonna be a shitty play experience. I don't want to play those maps.
Yeah. What do you think about map bans? I mean, that's what I like. It's the StarCraft system. Just ban the 2 or 3 maps you don't ever want to play.
Yeah, that's why I said a veto system.
That'd be good too.
It'll increase queue times by like 2-3 minutes for sure. But if that's
I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
If that's the trade you want, like for me, I'm usually waiting like 5-minute queue times anyway. So add up 2 minutes on top of that.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I always groan when I see like maps like that, like Haunted Mines or specifically Haunted Mines and Garden of Terror. I just really groan every time. Like, God damn it, I'm gonna waste a half an hour of my life on this map.
Hero Physio in chat. Our maps are good. Go screw yourself, dude. I know you. I know your Canadian ass doesn't believe that. Go fuck yourself. God.
Just so agreeable.
No, see,
right?
Hero Physio says that because he's a caster, right? And he never gets to play or see Garden of Terror or Haunted Mines. That's why he says that.
Right.
You doesn't have to endure the pain of playing those games.
And the bitch just placed in Hero League like 5 days ago. So he didn't play Hero League for like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
No credit towards what you say, sir.
Relentless.
So basically that's our opinion, I guess. Gizmo. I guess. Who knows? I don't
It is
actually.
an
Wait,
opinion.
what is what is the group's opinion against map pools or?
We want vetoes essentially.
Oh yeah,
I don't like the
Vetoes.
complete randomness of it.
Yeah.
I guess basically what we're saying is that we want to have the ability to choose our map that we play on. Let's have some say in it.
Some
So
control. That's right.
yeah.
Some map control.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, there's 12 maps right now since Hanamura's out, and you should be able to veto at least one or two.
Mhm.
What if the
So-
community voted for the map pool for the season or something?
No, because the community. Are you really referring to Reddit? Pretty much.
Well, just everybody.
Well, I think most players won't participate in that. I think. You know what I mean?
I don't think none of them will
Yeah.
really
So-
participate.
So, but yeah, but okay.
Jiggly in chat says, I'm going to dominate Bacon tonight if I catch him in a game. Bitch, when we played in PTR, my Morales did more damage than your Jaina, so sit down, fool.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bacon's on one right
Damaged by
now.
Morales.
You're going to call me out. You're going to call me out. I have the platform, bitch. You're just a chat person I can ban.
Yeah, that game was brutal too. Dude, I got all the kills. It's like, dude, running in to snipe somebody who's 10% life who would have died anyways doesn't make you effective.
Bullshit, it's your keyboard. You're playing. You didn't say one thing about your keyboard until the game ended, sir.
Yeah.
His mouse died.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
bullshit.
You gotta go through. What were all the excuses on the straw poll?
Mouse died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, guys.
Come
All
on.
right. Okay.
Not even a reason. Just come on, guys.
Oh, you talking about Jiggly? I'm not reading
Yeah.
the chat.
Yeah, the straw poll.
Oh, okay. All right. But all right. Anyway, all right. That's our show. So, lastly, so this week, instead of having a music for the intro, I used the beginning of a trailer to a movie, and the movie is called Patterson. It's available for free on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it. It's from the director Jim Jarmusek. He also did movies such as the really good film called Only Lovers Left Alive, and he's probably most well known for Broken Flowers, which is the movie with
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. That came out when I was in college, anyway. And
They showed Bush in that one, you know? There was Bush in that movie. That's all I remember. They showed Bush.
God. Okay. Anyway, so it's actually a movie about the day-to-day life of a bus driver who lives in Patterson, the city Patterson in New Jersey. And it's a movie where nothing much really happens, but yet a lot happens because it just shows his life on a day-to-day basis. And it's quite it's quite cool because there's a lot of nuance in it. Because like stuff happens where like, this doesn't make any sense, and then it tends to build up to something even more. And also, there's no plot points. There's basically one plot point, a very minor one that happens once, and it's a very, very quiet film, but it actually has a lot to say about. It has a lot of symbolism, and it has a lot of literary references, and gives tips its cap to like playwrights and writers of short stories and stuff like that. But anyway, it also stars Adam Driver. You probably know him as the bad guy in the Star Wars films. I'm actually not a
Kylo
fan.
Ren?
The new Darth Vader guy.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Sure, whatever. Yeah, sure.
The new
Anyway.
Darth Vader guy. He's not Darth Vader.
Darth Vader guy.
Well, whatever
How
he
are
is,
you?
but he plays that's who, like most people know him as that. But he actually does a pretty good job of acting in this film. In his other works, I wasn't really that sold on him, to be honest. But he actually does a good job. So I recommend you go watch the movie Patterson on Amazon Prime, and it's actually really good. So and it's actually different from like most other movies you'll see. In that anyway, that's all I'll say. But anyway. So, all right, that's it. So we actually don't have a win time today, right? Because we actually have been too busy to do a video.
I have a win time, but I didn't. It was like last night when I had it, so
What
I
happened?
can't
Did you
show
win
the video.
Did you win like a Hero League game?
But it was a Hero League game. It was the game where I was Rainer against the Garrosh, where I mentioned earlier. What happened was on my team, it was me as Rainer. We had a Leoric, and we also had a Jaina, I believe. What happened was I was getting dove on by one of the characters, and then I hit my Q as Rainer, pushed him back. At the same time, simultaneously, Leoric hit his Entomb, and Jaina hit her Ring of Frost and other combos, and it was awesome. It all happened simultaneously. Like I kind of just pushed him into the Entomb. The Entomb would have missed if I missed my Q. It was pretty cool.
Sounds like that was kind of lucky.
Nice, yeah. Accidental success.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
I think actually I hit my Q and kept running back, and I like, oh wait, they're calling that Jaina combo, Jaina Leoric combo, and I kind of ran back like 2 seconds later. So,
okay, well there you go.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, a lucky win.
Yeah,
that's our win time.
Yeah, I don't know if we won, but we definitely won that team fight.
So. All right. Well, that's our show. All right, let's go to Tower Baron to end the show.
Oh, the couple things in the show notes.
Oh, what? Go a couple things.
The thing
Nexus
you're
Raider.
highlighting.
What thing? what am I doing?
You are dyslexic, aren't you?
What?
Oh, win time. Send us win
Nexus
times.
Raiders.
Oh yeah, send us win times. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, send us win times at podcast@GankBushSquad.com, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
there you
we'll
go.
feature it on the show.
Yeah.
And then
Sure,
we
yeah.
met up with
Also, guys,
we met up with a
Go
few
ahead.
guys at the Nexus Raiders. Sundown, I believe is his name, and he helped us in the intro video, and we promised him that we would give him a shout out, and it seems like a cool place.
Yeah, they have
actually,
a
we find
pretty
people there,
interesting
too.
community.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
I
go,
mean,
Plug the
if you
website or what?
if you /join Nexus Raiders, 2 words, there's like a bunch of people there, usually looking for games, just hanging out, chatting. So if you want to, hang with them, like the week after we met them, the GankBush squad and I mean the Wind Timers, like we played with a bunch of them, like rotating in and out, so that was fun. And
like a
they
gangbang.
have it was a great
The
gangbang.
Hots Game Bang.
And their website is at facebook.com/groups/nr.hots. So nexusraider.hots, nr.hots. And they're pretty active on the Facebook group, and you can, they're always making posts. You can connect with them and have a good time.
Yeah, we'll link to the Facebook at gankbushsquad.com with their show notes.
Yeah.
Oh, lastly, I think we're gonna start going live on Wednesdays now at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time moving forward. So, yep, new day.
Yep.
That way
we
it
should say
doesn't-
that again somehow.
I didn't hear what it
Wednesdays.
Put that in the Discord channel as well. Wednesdays at 6.
6
Yeah,
PM
6 p.m.
Eastern.
Pacific Standard.
Pacific.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern, or Pacific Standard Time. No,
Yep.
Pacific Daylight Time.
And Loxley and chat asks, is Byron coming back? Yes, he's coming back. He's just been busy with work.
With League of Legends. All right.
Yeah,
so,
with the competitor of this game.
He just got recently hired. He's still green lighted to be on the show, but he's just been so busy adapting and things like that. But we'll have him.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be back.
I mean, we really shouldn't say this, but he's actually kind of a Trojan horse where he's taken down the other game from within to help HOTS rise to the top.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Go ahead, Tower Baron.
And that's our show, and we'll see you in the Nexus.
Oh man, look at that. Look at that.
Wow, look at this. Getting professional
Wow,
after
wow,
saying
wow.
Now that we're live, he has to be
Ooh.
professional now. That's funny.
How many times
If I
did
had
you
a
practice
tie, I
that
would-
in front
I
of the
would,
mirror?
If I had a tie, I would just, make sure I got my
Straighten
tie
it.
up and straight. Yeah, straighten it.
All right.
Uh-uh.
Peace out.
Yeah, everyone blow ASAP. Now go. Jesus Christ.
Last one was so much better.
That's the outro. We're good.
The miss on this station.